So let's go over how you actually set up a line in the Factbird system. So you can come down here to this plus button in the bottom right, create a new line. Now you're going to select the sensor group that you're going to be pulling sensors from this line. So whichever sensor is relevant to this line, you're going to want to find the group that sensor's in and select that sensor group, and then click next. Now here you're going to give the line a name, so let's call it tutorial test, and a line description should you want to give a further description of that line so that when it shows up on your line overview page, you can see both the name and the description. You're then going to select the bottleneck sensor for the line. So the bottleneck sensor is the main sensor for the line that's going to be used to calculate your OEE scores and everything else. So this is the key sensor for this line that's doing the main count for it. So let's select filling line 2 as an example for this. Next. So here's where you have the opportunity to add additional sensors to this line. So if you have analog sensors such as temperature, humidity, vibration, whatever that might be, you can add those to the line here. You can select the additional sensors once they're set up, but you can also specify a scrap sensor placement so we can understand when scrap is occurring. So let's say that the Factbird demo line sensor that we have here is going to be your scrap sensor. You can set up that scrap sensor to be prior to the bottleneck sensor, so we understand that the scrap is coming before the bottleneck sensor we discussed earlier. Or you can have it set up to come afterwards. So let's put it afterwards now. So the scrap sensor is set up for after the bottleneck, meaning that anything that passes that scrap sensor is going to be actually calculated as quality loss in your OEE score because it's bad product after the bottleneck sensor. So once you have all that set up, you can just click finish down here, and after a few minutes, that line will appear here on the line overview page. So now all the line settings are set up. You've clicked finish, but the line may not immediately appear. Don't panic, it just takes like 30 seconds. But once that's done, you can see here jumping back in, that line we just set up is now available in the line overview page. And once data is passing the sensor, that will immediately start showing in this tutorial test line that we've set up here. So now you've set up a line.